Hello and welcome into your Matsu Miners pregame show. This is Brad Walker, and alongside me is Connor Mills. We'll be on the call for tonight's game as well. And tonight's matchup features your Matsu Miners on the road tonight, facing the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. And in tonight's battle, it's a battle of the top and the bottom. The Miners come in with a newly found first place lead in the ABL at 12-8, and the Anchorage Glacier Pilots are in the basement at 7-13. So the Miners, Connor, winners of 8 of their last 10. What can they do tonight to keep this momentum going against a team like the Pilots?
Just keep the bats hot. If the bats are hot, then you can always win ball games. And the pitching, as always, has been remarkable. We had starters go deep into games. Corrigan yesterday went 5 1/3, so he's doing well. And on the mound, Nolan Monahan.
Yeah, exactly. As you mentioned, Nolan Monahan was Silla's very own. So interesting to see him. This is the first time Nolan's pitched in 19 days, and it was actually, in fact, against these Glacier Pilots in which he fared. So what is he looking to do tonight on the mound for the starter for the second time all season and first time pitching in 19 days?
Well, first time pitching, just get a feel for it. Don't always go for the strikeout. Go and just pitch your game. Pitch to contact, try to get through the game, and, go 5 and give your team a chance to get the win.
And this series isn't exactly been blown out of proportion by the Miners. They are currently leading at 5-2, and 4 out of the 6 games have been settled with 2 or less. I understand that the Pilots are sort of in a slump. They're in the bottom of the ABL, but how do you approach this game with the Miners knowing that it could be a tight contest?
Well, anytime it's a tight contest, you got to just go out there. Like I said, you got to play your game. You got to do everything. You got to do the little things right, hit and run situations, stealing bases, and just making the routine plays.
And sort of the final thing we'll touch on is last night, towards the end of the game, we saw a lot of antics. The Miners really sort of struggling towards the end of that game, but found a way to come together and get the win. How important was that, and as sort of a team aspect in building that chemistry for the Miners last night, getting the win even though they sort of stumbled to the finish line?
Well, I mean, a win's a win. No matter how you get there on that record, it's a W. So for the Miners, they just have to erase that 9th inning and just keep on doing what they've been doing over the past week or so.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And that'll about wrap up our pregame show tonight between the Miners and the Pilots. Coming up in about 10 minutes is our first pitch. As I mentioned, myself, Brad Walker, and my colleague Connor Mills will be on the call tonight for that one. So that has been your Matsu Miners pregame show.